So I have some cool labeled beer here. It's from Burlington Beer Company from Vermont. It's their Uncanny Valley IPA. So this one uses Citra and Big Secret hops. I've had a couple beers from this brewery, but it's been quite a while since I had them. I think this was part of the first shipment they've ever sent to the Boston area. Might still be available at some places. What I remember about their IPAs is that they tend to be super duper hazy and pale, but like really spicy, and not like ultra fruity. So we'll see what happens with this one. It's 7% alcohol. It was canned on the 1st of February. Yeah, so that makes it 16 days old. Don't really know much. I guess I know nothing about the exact grain bill. Looks pretty nice. And the only beer I've checked in from them on Untappd was their Simcoe single hop pale ale, and I'm a pretty big Simcoe fan. Gave that one like a 4, but wasn't super overwhelmed by it. Okay, so this reminds me that it seems like they use some sort of like Conan yeast, the specific yeast. A lot of Vermont brewers use it. Or maybe it's the London Ale 3, but a lot of these yeasts just have this one smell that's really specific to me. That is like, it's kind of a berry thing, but it's also kind of like a peach cobbler type thing. It's a specific yeast ester that I noticed that a lot of breweries who were trying to do the hazy thing a couple years ago, they would just throw that yeast in their beer, and sometimes it wouldn't turn out very well. Sometimes it almost seemed like there's diacetyl in it, and I almost sometimes connect this yeast ester to diacetyl, but I don't think there's any actual diacetyl in this. It has kind of like a strawberry aroma, and then plenty of citrusy, grapefruit, orange. Kind of a purple drink thing too. It doesn't smell like it's going to be super bitter though and spicy. We'll see. That's pretty good. I think I'm just not a huge fan of this yeast strain. It brings out, I don't know, it's a little bit too, maybe not quite Belgian yeasty. It sort of is that. It's hard to put my finger on it. But you can see the head kind of died down. Has a pretty good appearance. Pretty hazy, but yeah, not a very nice head. But I guess it is pretty juicy on the tongue. A lot of people, I can see why they like this a lot. I can see why it doesn't have the craziest highest ratings, even though it does pack a big hoppy punch, and it is very hazy. But this yeast, I don't know, prevents it from being that juicy. It makes it have these, kind of syrupy candy notes that aren't as fresh and bright, I guess I would say, as other yeasts that just kind of let the hops shine a little bit more. Finding it pretty palatable. It's not super spicy. It'll have a little bit of a bite, but there's not really a throat burn. Pretty drinkable for 7%. The mouthfeel is pretty good. It's a little bit spritzy, as with the head and the carbonation. It's pretty full, not boozy. I like the balance of the sweetness and the bitterness. I mean, it's pretty darn good. I would say it deserves a 4, but I think it's just the house character of this brewery and their yeast is just not my favorite. And I think that's what everyone should try to do. Try to figure out what kind of yeast character you like in your IPAs and other beers. And figure out what breweries do that. And then maybe if you like that brewery a lot, but their yeast character is just not your thing, maybe they'll switch it up. A lot of breweries these days have been experimenting with different yeast blends to get their beers, to be even better. This is a pretty good one. If you like, I don't know, I don't want to say Heady Topper and The Alchemist, they used to use this they like sort of pioneered this Conan yeast, but now their beers are very different. They're almost never this hazy. It reminds me, I guess, actually of Peak Organic. They were one of the first ones to come out with a beer that's just called The Juice and trying to make it hazy. And that beer had definitely used a similar yeast strain, but it was way bigger on the yeasty notes. But it's pretty good. I'd give it a 4. That's it.